full-back, Forster, Rudd, Roper and Henare. Toa Love filling in for the injured Iestyn Harris and Willie Swan. The forwards, Hilton, Watson and Chambers. Hume, Jones for the suspended Cullen, and Sculthorpe, who's the captain. And on the bench, Finau, Barrow, Thursfield and Maffey. Coach John Dorahy, who is a former player coach here at Halifax. He took them to the 1990 Regal Trophy final, which they lost to Wigan. And it's Warrington who are in possession with Willie Swan. He brings Gary Chambers back on his inside. Good tackling from Mark Perrott. Chris Watson is the dummy half. He finds Swan again. And this now is Toa Love. Good run from Toa Love, but good tackling also. Pressure here from Warrington. Long ball, great ball as well. And this is a real chance here for Paul Hume. It was a wonderful pass. Now Swan, out wide it goes to Foster. That touched his hands, it'll be the knock-on. And the referee said it happened on the last tackle, so it's the turnover.
Well, from hero and then straight to the villain. It was a beautiful pass from Willie Swan that created the break, but his second attempt out wide to the winger Forster was not the best indeed.
Rowley again. Good scampering run from the little hooker. Gets the ball back. Neat interchange, but Martin Moana is brought to the ground. This now is Dean again.
He's a key man in the dummy half position now. The hooker Paul Rowley, the runs from dummy half, they often stretch the defence.
Asa Amon, and he escapes the clutches of Rudd. A good job for Warrington that Love was there. Dubbed through by Moana, and well picked up by Lee Penny, the fullback.
Ready well there. Penny anticipated the kick. Wasn't a bad one either from Moana. But there you see, beautiful position by the fullback.
It's Warrington who are in possession against this Halifax side who have lost just 3 of their last 9. Well, and all the defeats have come here at Thrum Hall.
Well, the crowd and the players a little bit confused. John Connolly having a real trouble getting them back the full 10, and that's got to be a penalty. Forster agrees with the referee Connolly on this occasion, not surprisingly. You can see they were trying to hold him down and then try to get the ball away. No way could they try to get, see how they reef the ball. 2 men in attendance. You can only do that one-on-one.
Warrington then in possession just on the halfway line. That was a very shallow 10 metres, but the referee was policing the play of the ball then, and they're all offside now. Halifax, they were stood 2 and 3 metres in front of the referee. He's allowing advantage though, because Henare's in possession, and Henare, a good strong run from him. Eventually though he's hauled down.
Well, there's so much niggling going on for the play the ball situation. This occasion, John Bentley. Well, John Connolly's got to do something about this very, very quickly, because it's going to be very scrappy throughout if he doesn't. The winger Bentley all over the man trying to get up and play the ball. And I don't think it's long before Connolly starts giving out the warning to both captains.
Well, no Iestyn Harris in the side, so Chris Rudd takes over the goal-kicking responsibilities today, but he's no stranger to kicking the goals. One already this season, with a bit of a wind behind him as well, but he doesn't find the mark on that occasion. 0-0 here at Thrum Hall.
Way off beam there. Chris Rudd won't be happy with that.
Rowley scampers forward another 10 metres.
Well, you could see on that occasion that the prop forward Chambers trying to turn the man in the tackle. That's what they try to do to get him on his back, so it takes a little bit more. See how they're trying to twist him. Takes a little bit longer for them to get up and play the football. All the coaches do it these days, but they haven't got away with it on that occasion. See how they try to turn him? That way they can't get up and make a quick play the ball and catch the defence off guard.
Rika again for Halifax on his debut today, signed from the Cleckheaton Rugby Union Club. This now is Martin Kettridge. Kettridge, one of the old campaigners in Super League, his 4th appearance at prop forward. Now the Welsh international, Mark Perrott. Better run from the forward. Good drive up the middle also from Asa Ramon, the full-back, the Tongan. Out wide it goes to Gillespie. Gillespie to Ilangi. It's Warrington's turn to defend desperately now. That's little Craig Dean. He dabs it through, and Penny is there, and Penny just ran the ball out.
Nice option from Dean. But you can see that Penny had it all covered. Takes it over, so there'll be a drop out from underneath the sticks. Good option from Dean. He's a talented player. Live-wise scrum half.
Good length on the kick to halfway, and Amon immediately runs it back and makes great ground. Drags Halifax back to within a couple of metres of the 20-metre line. Now this is Amon playing today at loose forward. Usually a standoff where he has played last week against Castleford. Rowley gets the pass away to Chester. Chester to Perrott. Penalty, another one to Halifax.
Well, Swan and Watson getting involved there. Perrott gets through, and you can see that he claimed that Watson dragged it out whilst Swan had attendance to him. Good spot there by the referee, John Connolly. Well done.
Well, with a man like John Schuster on the field, it's pretty unwise from a Warrington point of view to be conceding penalties from this range. Excellent goal kicker, as he proves once again, John Schuster, his 47th goal in Super League this season, and Halifax have the lead 2-0.
Quite deadly with the boot. John Schuster was a fine signing for Halifax. Been a good servant to this club.
Halifax ahead then, and Asa Amon restarts. Ball will be run back by Mark Hilton. Watson is the dummy half, and this is Gary Chambers. The ball was stolen, and that is play on. Chris Chester. It was one-on-one when Chester made contact.
See, he just palms it down from him. Good work there.
Now Craig Dean, trying his debut against Warrington here in December 1994 for Craig Dean. Rowley comes into dummy half as Kettridge gets to his feet. There's Dean again, he takes over. Chester and Dean work the 1-2. Schuster goes up the middle. Schuster gets the pass away. The ball has come free, and Michael Jackson was chasing it. But it was a forlorn chase in the end.
Good work by the two half-backs, Dean and Chester, that did the run around. Schuster got through, and you can see he tries to get the ball away, and Penny put himself in between. He was the meat in the sandwich, but it certainly paid off for him. Good work by Penny, but what a good break by Schuster.
John Connolly shakes his head. That's the last tackle. Back to Sculthorpe, who puts the kick in, and it runs down the hill, and that will find touch. Good kick from Sculthorpe.
Good thinking from the youngster. Really is a great talent, isn't he? Takes it on the blind side. Could see there was no one at home. And really is a pinpointed, accurate kick.
Craig Dean feeds. And a chance here for Rika to run the ball out. Halted, though, 10 metres from his own line. Now Schuster. Does well, finds Gillespie, who does well, finds Tuilangi, who goes through two tacklers and is still going. Ferretti to Ilangi, the Western Samoan.
Tremendous work there from Gillespie. It was a beautiful pass from John Schuster. And they're turning in the tackles, Halifax now. Is the support going to be there?
Long pass out wide to Bentley. Bentley fancies a run at Henare. He's got support on the inside, but there's only Rudd there. He was looking for Schuster, and Rudd picked it up easily.
Desperation pass, but again we see a Warrington player. This occasion it's Rudd that puts himself in a perfect position, and a little bit heavy there. Lee Penny, the full-back, caught a stray one in the ribs, and he's being called, I think, from the referee. Well, it was a pretty hefty one. I think it was Martin Kettridge, the man that was involved. Quick word by the referee, John Connolly. This is the incident. Takes a step there. No, looks like Mark Perrott was the man involved. Surprisingly, though, John Connolly, I think, brought out Kettridge for the flop.
Kettridge being warned that any more and someone would be on the way to the sin bin. It's now his Chambers.
Well, he really is having a problem, this referee, John Connolly, getting them back to full 10. You can see how quickly they're moving up, and it's turning into a one-man, one-out affair.
Coe Love has support on his inside from Mark Jones. Mark Jones, he spins in the tackle, but that's a great run from the Welshman. Chances here now for Warrington with Penny. Penny saw a gap and went for it, and Halifax quickly closed it down. Four of them there in desperate defence.
Well, I'm not so sure there wasn't a forward pass in that build-up.
Willie Swan. Paul Hume on the diagonal run. Paul Hume has broken through, and on the last tackle, he's come up with a try for Warrington. Paul Hume gets his first for Warrington. It came back on the inside, picked up the pass, and the defence simply melted away.
Well, the Halifax side, they're complaining to the referee that there was a forward way back. But Willie Swan used the dummy runner, brought Hume back on the inside. It wasn't the best attempt tackled by Perrott. And the experienced Hume goes in for a 4. Nice ball out wide, and you can see how he used the dummy runner, stretches it away, brings out Kettridge. Perrott can't get to him. That's a fine work try.
Paul Hume gets the try then, as I say, his first in Warrington colours. In this, his 5th, or rather his 6th appearance.
Well, this is the incident where I think was a forward passing. You can see it was about a yard forward, and it was not picked up by the referee, John Connolly. Well, I'm not surprised that Halifax are upset about that.
Chris Rudd added the conversion from bang in front. Warrington ahead 6-2, and Asa Amon rather, from the kick-off, he makes an almighty mess, knocks the ball forward.
Well, he couldn't say the sun was in his eyes, maybe his hair. It really was a real meal ticket there, wasn't it? But he didn't take it.
And this now is Sculthorpe, and what a price Asa Amon has paid for that blunder. Sculthorpe picked up the ball from the base of the scrum and shot through a very static and a very square defence, and suddenly Warrington have hit a purple patch. Sculthorpe, the England international, gets the try.
Got plenty of skill, hasn't he? And also the inexperience there, the loose forward. They came out too quickly and couldn't get to it. They were caught. See how he throws the dummy, Dean. They couldn't sweep up on the inside. They really did get caught out there, but full credit to the youngster. It's a fine try.
England international Paul Sculthorpe. His late try won the game against Paris Saint-Germain 2 weeks ago, and it has pushed Warrington further ahead here today, that try from him. So Chris Rudd now with the conversion attempt, 1 from 2. Managed the last one from bang in front, and he's hooked that one. Not the best kick he's ever put in, Chris Rudd. But Warrington, with 2 quick tries, have raced into a 10-2 lead. Martin Kettridge, formerly with Castleford. 306 appearances for them. Rowley, formerly with Lee, followed Steve Sims over the Pennines here. And this now is Craig Dean.
Good run from the hooker. Paul Rowley, we mentioned that he's the man. He's got to penalise them for that. Well, he's playing the advantage, but he can't do it now. Come on, John Connolly, we've got to get something sorted here. Have a word to both skippers. This is getting out of hand.
Well, he's already told Martin Kettridge, who's the Halifax captain, that any more, and Halifax will have someone in the bin, he must surely tell Warrington here.
Well, I know that Connolly was trying to play the advantage, but it was just stupidity to allow that sort of thing to carry on. 3, 4 seconds, 5 seconds perhaps, something's got to be done. And no wonder Lee Penny didn't like it. And no wonder no one liked it. Silly mistake there.
Well, Schuster gave Halifax the lead not too long ago. Here he is now trying to cut the deficit. And I said earlier on that it was unwise of Warrington to give this fellow any chances in front of the posts, but they've done it twice. Willie Swan takes the tackle from Jackson. Quick play the ball to Watson. Watson gets it out wide to Roper. And Roper on the inside, it goes back to Watson again. Desperate defence from Gillespie there. Forced to the dummy half. Here's Willie Swan. Swan to Paul Hume, who loses it. And it's play on because Paul Rowley has possession here for Halifax.
He's on his own. There's no one within cooey of him. Well, I know it was a stray pass that he picked it up there. Enrique was talking to the referee rather than getting into the dummy half position.
Oh, that's risky. Schuster got on the end of it, and Bentley has space ahead of him now. Is this the moment for Bentley? Bentley gets his first at Thrum Hall. At last, the Thrum Hall drought comes to an end for England winger John Bentley. It's his 11th of the season. His first in front of Halifax's own fans.
Put this down to the run from Paul Rowley, and from this they launched there. You could see that the winger Craig Rieker was not looking. Dean out wide. Long ball here from Chester. And that one there from Amon was superb. He threw it blind. But this guy, look at him motor. Great try. He loves nothing better than this. This is where it all came about. The bad mistake. There you see, goes to ground, and Rowley, very quick. But he knew he was on his own. The link out wide. This is the pass. Whoa, I'll take the risk. It came off. Off he went. Schuster fed him. Bentley says, I'm getting out of here. We need 4. A vital 4. Halifax are back.
7th try from John Bentley in his last 4 matches. 2 out of 2 from John Schuster so far, both penalties. This is his first conversion. He is a wonderful kicker, John Schuster, and that great kick brings Halifax back level at 10-all. Ace Ramon, the tackle by the number 16 for Warrington, John Roper again, and Amon felt it. Maybe caught a stray finger in the eye, perhaps. He's down on all fours where the play the ball was. Rowley trying to conjure up something for himself. The ball stood up after he had kicked it, but Forster was able to reach it first.
Well, there's a collision here with the leg, maybe the knee, but Forster goes down, and there you see the knee just accidentally caught Forster, the winger. But good run by Lee Penny. Still down is Forster. He really has been shaken by that collision.
And there's a swinging arm somewhere in the tackle by Michael Jackson earlier on, and the referee has penalised him and Halifax for that.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that some of these players are becoming a little bit frustrated. They're not being allowed the space to play open football.
And that's the half-time siren, and it's all square at the break, 10 points each. John Bentley will be breathing a sigh of relief. His first try on home soil this season levelled matters for Halifax after Warrington had gone into a 10-2 lead. Hume and Sculthorpe. Schuster, reliable as ever with the kicking. 3 successful goals from him, and Bentley with that try, as I say. It's 10 points all here at Thrum Hall. Halifax are 8th in the Super League table, but they are 7 points adrift of the top 4 clubs. A win today would reduce that to 5 behind Warrington. But as we restart this second half, it's all square here at Thrum Hall, 10 points apiece. Halifax 3rd in centenary year, mainly down to outstanding form at Thrum Hall, just 2 defeats. But their home form in Super League is a complete mystery. So I must say they have shown a lot more verve and a lot more vigour and enthusiasm for the task here today against this Warrington side. Warrington know that any slip, and the Broncos are waiting to cash in just behind them in the race for a top 4 finish. And it's Warrington who are in possession at the start of this second half. Watson gets the ball away to Hilton. Hilton carries Warrington over the halfway line. That's the last tackle. Watson again. And here now is Willie Swan. Puts in a high kick. It catches in the breeze. Watson was after it, but he was surely would have been offside. Here is Asa Amon, the fullback. Good strength from Amon.
Little down to the coach. John Dora here said to his chargers, make sure that you use the bomb in this half. Wasn't sighted in the first 40 minutes.
Martin Kettridge now for Halifax. And he lost that ball. He did lose that ball, but John Connolly allows them to play on.
Well, this is amazing, isn't it? See, Kettridge just lost it, try to get on with it. But once again, this interference at the play of the ball, it's looking messy and it's getting petty.
Now here's Perrott. He gets the ball out wide to Gillespie, to Tuilangi, and this is Rika. And Rika is hauled to the ground by John Roper. And the flag's up. He's in touch. Long legs of Rika. Must have been in touch before the tackle was completed. That's what the touch judge is telling him.
Well, he seemed to have the legs up. Took a while. Looked okay there. Still looked okay.
Mistake by Craig Rika, whose father played for Halifax in the 50s. Kia. Willie Swan thought he was on his way, but just lost his footing, or was it a timely ankle tap? That's Roper, and a timely tackle from John Schuster. Watson, Hilton. Rowley stood his ground. Bit of help also from his captain, Martin Kettridge. Watson to Finau. So Lacey Finau, who hasn't started a game since April, but was sub last week against Wigan. Sub here today also. Chambers. It's the last tackle. Swan to Sculthorpe.
Good play there by Chris Chester. He wasn't going to take the dummy. Went with him all the way there. Well, it's about time. This interference, he tried to get up and play the ball quickly. You can see that Sculthorpe would not get out of the way.
And Sculthorpe's in the sin bin. He wouldn't hand the ball over at the play the ball. And so John Connolly, his patience has snapped at last. And Sculthorpe takes 10 minutes. Well, every one of the Warrington players at that play the ball were offside then. They were all in front of John Connolly, and they have been throughout this match on both sides.
And I think it's only about a couple of occasions whereby, well, there's a full centre standoff, you name it. Never even made any attempt to go back 5, never mind the 10.
But he's not got them for that, he's got them for moving off the mark.
Look at the man on the blind side, on the right-hand side of the referee. He's not even looking.
Referee again is policing the play of the ball. Warrington back 6 metres at most. Kettridge with that run, halted.
Oh, that was a forward.
Well, they're not hanging about to debate it, and there's a try here for Martin Moana. Martin Moana gets the 4 and puts Halifax into the lead again. Warrington hanging round, maybe waiting for the referee's whistle to blow. It didn't come, and Moana took full advantage.
Well, they just held off, didn't they? That's a reach about a yard in front of that for mine, but Martin Moana threw the dummy. Lee Penny took it. Nothing that the big prop forward Gary Chambers could do. Well, threw the dummy there. You see Penny definitely went for it. Chambers couldn't stop him. Good work, though. Let's take nothing away from the man. Martin Moana. Superb dummy, wasn't it? Good skills.
Delight on the face of Martin Moana as he got across the line for that try. Warrington in some disarray with Sculthorpe in the sin bin, and their defence really is like a dog's hind leg. John Schuster 3 from 3, and John Schuster now 4 from 4. Easy for that man, and Halifax race into a 6-point lead. Watson to Hilton. Hilton up the middle. Good tackle. Gillespie there, and Kettridge, who I think has been hurt, making that challenge. This is Coe Love. Support from Coe Love for Henare. Henare scores the try. Richard Henare. Well, we've seen John Bentley end his drought today, and Richard Henare, who hasn't scored for 3, it's his longest barren spell until that moment. Henare gets the 4.
Did well. You can see Henare in the background. Watch how he comes on a late run. He's still there in the background. To your left now. Just get out of screen. Coe Love. See how he just takes a step, and Henare shadows him through. Tremendous work by the winger, Richard Henare. He knows it's going to come. Once the dummy's there, he runs the angle. Good work, though, by Coe Love. That is a well-worked try. They're back. Quick play the ball. Swan out wide. The little step. But the arc run there. That's great support play.
Richard Henare, his try won the match at Wilderspool earlier in the season for Warrington, and with 12 men, Sculthorpe still off the field in the sin bin, he's put them back in touch here now, and this is a big kick for Chris Rudd. He hasn't managed to find the mark, though. They're missing Iestyn Harris in that department. 16-14. Martin Moana, Hume, and also Hilton. And a good run from dummy half from Rowley. Forster got a hand to it. It's play on. They've got chances out wide. It's Gillespie. And Gillespie just held up short.
Good play by the hooker Paul Rowley there. He had the ball taken away from him, but regained possession.
The fullback has chimed in, Asa Amon. Lee Penny is there, though, his opposite number. Chester to Dean. Over the top it goes to Schuster. Bentley's out wide. Schuster taking them on. Coe Love wrestles him to the ground. Bentley now gives it to Moana, and Moana gets his second and pushes Halifax a little bit further towards winning money. Try is given. Second try for Martin Moana. Playing loose forward today, usually a standoff, but revelling by the looks of things in his new role.
Good strong run and good work by the winger there, Bentley. He run the angle, and you could see that Warrington failed to move up. And the loose forward for today, Martin Moana. Look at the angle there. He sucked in 2 men, and there was nothing that Mark Hilton could do.
So Martin Moana from the Auckland Warriors, for whom he made 6 appearances in 1995. 2 tries here. Schuster's 4 from 4, and now he's 5 out of 5. 100% with the boot for John Schuster. and Halifax 22 points to 14 ahead. John Doherty searching for the winning formula. He knows that his team daren't slip, bearing in mind the destruction of Sheffield Eagles by the London Broncos in our Saturday match. They're breathing down the necks now, but Paul Barrow, he again wasn't standing square at the play of the ball.
Well, not only that, Mark Hilton was laying across the ground. Now the rules state that once you've made the tackle, you're supposed to get out of the way, roll away from the play the ball area.
So not surprisingly, with a record like that, John Schuster decides that he'll have a shot at goal here from the penalty. Could be a vital to this. He is worth his weight in goal, John Schuster. Kicks a wonderful ball and Steve Sims relaxes just a little bit more. 10-point lead. Jackson.
Well, Steve Sims, the Halifax coach, will be telling them now, just calm it down. Nothing silly. We've got the lead. It's Warrington that have to play catch-up football. They've got to take the risks. Halifax don't.
Big kick downfield into empty space. Henare will pick this up and run it back on the zero tackle. He's gone. That's risky business. My word, the number 14, Craig Dean there, almost got the intercept, and it would have been a try without a doubt. Henare took a big chance.
Well, that's what they've got to do. They're running out of time. They haven't got much around here.
Oh, not in your own quarter, Steve-O, surely.
Well, you've got to go for it. 10 points in it. No good going down in a whimper. At least go out with a growl.
Willie Swan. And this is Chambers. Willie Swan continues the run. He sees that there's space out here for Rudd. Rudd comes back on the inside. Swan takes it over again. Pass out wide. And this is Henare. And Henare gets his second. Well, tries are coming in twos today for these players. And Richard Henare, he has give Warrington hope here.
Well, he was the man that took the gamble in his own quarter. Henare threw that ball. Lee Penny took it, and from this, they launched. Willie Swan did well. Out wide, look how Rudd throws the dummy. Swan backs up superb. Quick hands, nothing that Bender could do. Overlap. They're back, and they've still got time. Good work by Swan. Rudd brings it through, and you'll see how Bentley has to go for the man here. Extra man out wide, Henare. That's a fine try, well worked.
Well, a change of kicker for Warrington. Paul Sculthorpe, captain for the day, takes the responsibility. And I'm afraid it's not much better than Chris Rudd. 1 from 4 for Rudd, 0 from 1 for Sculthorpe. 6 points the difference. And you do wonder what might have happened had Iestyn Harris been fit to play in this match, their usual goal kicker. And here they come again, Halifax, with Michael Jackson. They want to end this awful sequence of events here at Thrum Hall.
They've got to drive towards the post. They've got Schuster there that can pop over the 1 point.
And here is Schuster. He's gone for the 1-pointer. It's up in the air. It's taking an eternity. It never reached. Lee Penny picks it out from underneath his own bar and launches Warrington again. Good run from Penny.
Schuster got in a good position. Just did not have the weight. Tantalizing underneath the post.
Now this is Chester, and he did well then because he committed Michael Jackson to make the tackle. And Jackson is going to go to the sin bin. That is judged to be a professional foul.
Good run by Watson. And you can see there the swinging arm also, but he never made any attempt to get back to 10. Well, this is vital times. Jackson into the sin bin.
Jackson goes off then, and it's a penalty. against Jackson for offside. He didn't make any attempt to get back onside, so deemed as a professional foul by John Connolly. Irony of ironies, I suppose, Steve-O, for Halifax in many ways.
Well, he hasn't seen anybody offside all day, and then when Jackson is offside, send him to the sin bin. He should have been doing that in the first 5 minutes, not late in the game.
You're right. Willie Swan. Willie Swan gets it to Roper. Roper's going to score. No, the referee brings them back. Penalty to Halifax.
He said he used the crisscross, used the shepherd. Well, Roper can't believe it. He throws the dummy back on the inside. Well, I can't see what's wrong there. They feel that To'iko'i Love perhaps was interfering, but I'm not so sure.
Here's Bentley.
Well, I'm not so sure that Ko'i Love knew what was going on behind him.
Gillespie's back out of the blood bin. Touch judge now is on.
Well, we can do without that from John Bentley, okay. We do call the officials from time to time, but they can do without. Okay, we've had it all the game. Look at that, the knee on, and Bentley knew it. Silly play, frustration there. Mark Jones, how stupid is this? Well, no player deserves to get treatment like that from John Bentley, but the officials don't deserve to get where you get the situation where it is clapping because the touch says. This is the shepherd, back on the inside. Well, no, I'm not so sure that Ko'i Love did any much there. I think Craig Dean milked it for all it was worth and got away with it.
Here's Bentley now. There's suddenly a little touch of spite in this match because the sides are so close. This is Rowley.
He's had a fine game, hasn't he? He's worked hard. Only thrown out one stupid pass in his own quarter, but other than that, he's been my star.
And that's Paul Heighton, who has come on for Kettridge again. Here's Schuster, possible drop goal! Gets it this time. John Schuster perhaps wins the match for Halifax with that left-footed drop goal. The lead now is 7 points, and Warrington are up against it.
Classic play by Schuster. He intimated to kick with the right and then stepped and kicked with the left. Confused the defence. They tried to charge it down, but to no avail. The smile says it all.
Coming up on Sky Sports in the coming week, Bradford Bulls against Wigan is the Friday match. 7 o'clock we shall be live and exclusive at Odsal, and that will be one of the games of the season. And the following evening on Saturday we're in Paris, in Gay Paris, for Paris against the London Broncos. Bastille weekend across the channel, and they're expecting a huge crowd at the Charlotte Stadium for that battle of the two big cities. Craig Dean. Gillespie steps away from Ko'i Love, gets the pass inside to Moana. That's a knock on though. The referee will put the scrum down.
Well, I know they got a 7-point cushion, but this is really stupid play by Gillespie. He made a fine run. He knows that it's pretty close to the end of the game. Should have been up the jumper time, and you can see the hooker Rowley saying so.
Halifax on the verge of a victory then against Warrington, who they have not beaten in 5 attempts here at Thrum Hall. Just one home win all season. Number 2 is beckoning, but here goes Henare again. Henare cuts in field, they're all after him, and that's a great tackle back by the number 4.
Well, it's finally
Tuilangi. And Tuilangi is on his way to the sin bin now as well. Well, I'm amazed that John Connolly has suddenly found these yellow cards so late in the game. He's quite right to send Tuilangi to the bin, but as you said, Steve-O, it should have happened in the opening 5 minutes. Mark Jones.
Gonna be a penalty.
He's just said he was held there.
Well, it moved off the mark, so therefore it should be a penalty.
Sculthorpe out the back again. Hilton Gillespie with the desperate tackle. Paul Hume wants to get on with it. Coe Love. They're attacking down this left-hand side. Rudd's gone without the ball.
He was never going to get that at any point. He just bobbed up and he never had control. Coe Love set him up. You could see that he was losing it all the time. Well, this is a penalty. Tuilagi did a great cover tackle, and then he goes and does this. Flop.
Maybe that was the last hurrah for Warrington, because we're in the last minute now and it's Halifax in possession. Surely they'll just take the tackles and then clatter the ball downfield. That's Andy James. Paul Rowley, the dummy half. He gets it away to Bentley.
Bentley knows what's needed. Just go to ground with the football. Take your time.
Oliver Marnes comes on very late in the game. The young schoolboy, only 17. Marnes, still studying at school. He was offered terms, actually, by Oldham Athletic to turn to soccer, but instead, Marnes chose the path of rugby league. And he's on here in his Super League debut late in the game. And there he is, the number 34, making the tackle. An outstanding prospect, according to coach Steve Sims. Now Maffey turns the ball back inside to Roper. Roper gets away from Marnes, can't get away from Gillespie.
Well, Warrington in this last 10 minutes have played good open football, but that's another mistake.
Marnes picks it up. It was an intercept, and he took the tackle from Roper. Here's Gillespie.
John Connolly had a look toward the touch judge there for this incident.
At last, for Halifax, their agony at Thrum Hall comes to an end. Just one home win in 7 attempts. 33-30 against Sheffield, who can't win away 5 weeks ago. But a prized victory here against Warrington. John Schuster was very safe with the goal kicking. He also landed the drop goal. And of course, John Bentley brought his dearth of tries to an end here at Thrum Hall at long last. A victory that they will savour here then. Halifax winning by 25 points to 18. Moana with 2 tries and Bentley. Schuster the 6 goals and the 1-pointer. Warrington, Henare with 2 tries, Hume and Sculthorpe. Rudd with the solitary goal. Goal kicking has cost Warrington dear. Right, let's now wrap up the rest of the results from this weekend in the Super League.
The full results then from round 15, starting with the big 2. Bradford 50, St Helens 22, Wigan 26, Castleford 25, London 45, Sheffield 8, Halifax 25, Warrington 18, Leeds 26, Oldham 28, and Workington 14, Paris 10. And so at the top of the table, Wigan go ahead of St Helens for the first time, followed by Bradford, Warrington, London still doing well on 17 points, Oldham on 15 in 6th. Whilst at the bottom, Paris and Workington locked together on 5 points, Paris ahead by virtue of points difference. Leeds, Castleford, Halifax and Sheffield make up the bottom 6. In Division 1, meantime, it's Batley 12, Rochdale 26, Featherstone 31, Widnes 14, Hull 22, Dewsbury 6. A surprise at Keighley, losing out 10-37 to Huddersfield, with Salford winning again 38-12 against Whitehaven. So the table still has Salford at the top, Keighley dropping back just slightly ahead of Featherstone, Huddersfield, Hull and Widnes. Whilst at the bottom, it's Batley on 4 points, Rochdale just 1 point ahead behind Whitehaven, Dewsbury and Wakefield. On to Division 2, Carlisle 20, York 19, Chorley 10, Bramley 15, Doncaster 4, Swinton 25, Lee 12, Hunslet 44, Prescott 4, Hull KR 68, and South Wales continuing their good run, 48-16 winners over Barrow. So at the top of the table it's still Hull KR on 28 points, just 2 ahead of Hunslet, followed by Swinton, Carlisle, Doncaster and South Wales in 6th. And at the bottom, Prescott on 4 points, Chorley on 6, Barrow also on 6, behind Bramley, Lee and York.
Well, it's been an eventful weekend in Super League, hasn't it? And we will reflect it all in Boots and All on Thursday at 9 o'clock, when we will also look ahead to next weekend's action. And the action will feature on Friday, the Bradford Bulls against Wigan. We'll be live and exclusive from Odsal Stadium at 7 o'clock. The game will start at 7:30. The following day, we're across the channel in France, where Paris Saint-Germain take on the London Broncos. We'll be live from the Charlotte Stadium, Saturday evening 5:30. The game will kick off 6 o'clock our time. And next Sunday, we'll take a look at St Helens against Halifax again. Halifax in such great form away from home. And how will they do against the side that until this weekend led the table? St Halifax next Sunday at 10. That's it then from Hall. Halifax have at last ended their drought here. From all of us, it's goodbye.